What's going on, guys? Big Mike, D717 Outlaw back with you here. So this is going to be our last racing venue of the season. So this is filmed way after the fact. I had some corrupted files on my camera. Luckily, I was able to get my race footage, but my outro and intro got all ruined. But so we went to our IHRA bracket finals. Didn't do too bad. I was still fighting clutch issues in that event. Well, I was really fighting issues the last half of the season. I'd get good days and I'd get bad days, and then something with the clutch would get out of whack and I just could never get the launches back down to where I wanted to. So after XDA, I noticed, like, I rebled my clutch to go into the second day, never really got to test the clutch out. Go to find out, I started messing around with some stuff and found out that I had residue coming from this little rubber boot inside the clutch, like where the plunger is. I kept having residue there, and I thought for a while that it was when I'd filled it, I maybe spilled something and it got down here and it caused all kinds of issues. But from what I noticed with some of the residue that I get every now and then, if the clutch is being heavily used, is there will be brake fluid or the dot 4 that you use for the clutch on the end of that plunger, which there's a little bit on it right now, and you can kind of see that. And that's what I kept running into, because every time I bled the clutch, I would keep getting air pockets. Could never figure it out. Like, I kept checking my fittings, making sure that my fittings were tight and things like that, but I think there's an O-ring or that plunger is going out. But anyway, I rebled this before we went up to Beaver Springs for our banquet dinner, which was basically just the last test and tune of the season before our banquet dinner. And here you guys go. This was us up at Beaver Springs for the last test and tune of the season. And yeah, check it out, guys. I didn't really roll out of it, but still fighting it a little bit. 1/6 60 foot possibly.
What we have in the lanes we will finish out with.
That was not a good one.
felt good. Lifted a little bit. Let's see. That's an 880. That's a great way to end the season. That's how we end the season. 159 60 foot, 584 to the 8 at 130, almost 131. 886 at 161. We're rolling. I'll be so happy for next year. We're going to be deep in the 8s, boys. I'm going to end off the video there. Running personal best 886, 161.8 miles per hour. The bike did great. I mean, I don't know if I said this in the intro. Whenever we were out in Ohio, I weighed the bike. With the body work, the low pro tank, and removing some weight here and there, we chopped 50 pounds off that bike. And for me to be able to make up almost 3/10 just off that weight savings was phenomenal, because that's the only thing that changed over the season. Like, nothing else changed. We didn't add more power to the bike. We didn't do anything crazy to make it run any better than it did. But we made it work. We finished off the season running. I ran just outside the top 10 for the IHRA points at Beaver Springs. Mickey finished 8th or 7th. And then I got 3rd place in the 100 mile an hour club, which is like the fastest mile per hour bikes that were at the track. They do trophies for the top 10. I got 3rd 2 years in a row. I was 1st for most of the season. Unfortunately, the race that was before the banquet dinner, 2 guys knocked me out of 1st spot. One guy running 169 and one guy running 165. So I wouldn't have been able to catch them either way, because I just didn't have the mile per hour. But the bike did great for the season, as well as Mickey did on Project Cornbread. But we have a lot coming up. Biggest things that we have 2 new vehicles on the channel. One is mine and one is Mickey's. We are looking at doing XDA series next year, so we're trying to get Pro ET bikes. I'm gonna try to make my turbo bike a Pro ET bike, even though most guys in that series are running all motor or a little bit of spray. I'm gonna try to do it with a turbo and see what we can make happen. But you can kind of see it right here. This is Mickey's bike. I'm not gonna go into any details until the next video, but you guys can kind of get an idea of what it is. But my bike is behind the camera, and we'll be getting into more details on that as well, because we've got some work to do this off season. We're going to be doing some chassis adjustments and a clutch. The Busa will probably be taken off the street next year, because it's gotten to the point to where it is pretty much a track only bike. The headlight taillight situation, it works for DOT. It's not really legal to drive. I mean, I'm pretty sure if a cop really wants to give me a hard time, they could probably take the bike personally. So the Busa will probably come off the street unless I can figure something else out. Maybe there's some dig races in Mexico. Maybe I can figure something out for running it on the street again. But we have a lot of work to go. That's about where I'm gonna sit at. I'm gonna try to have a video up of both of the new vehicles as soon as I can, but if I don't, there is a toy drive up here around outside of Harrisburg that we go to every year. Me and Mickey go to it. I take the Busa to it every year. I've taken the R6 to it. It's an awesome toy drive. I mean, I think last year we got 1,000 cars and bikes that showed up to that event. And this year we're pretty much trying to do the same. We're trying to top it. Fox News is gonna be there apparently, from what I've heard. There's gonna be some there's gonna be like some food trucks, things like that. Of course, we're gonna have St. Thomas Roasters, which is the local coffee house that's downtown or in town here. The 2 bikes that we're gonna be unveiling in the next video will be there. So if I don't have the video up, come out and check out the event. The bikes will be there. Mickey's gonna have his bike there. I'm taking mine. I'll be having my Turbo Busa as well, and we'll be out there hanging out, checking out what comes, dropping off some toys for the toy drive this year, as well as unopened toys, but canned food, non-perishables, things like that. They will be doing donations for that as well for the upcoming holiday season. But as always, guys, that's pretty much going to end it here. And I hope you like the video. If you do, give a thumbs up. Know anything more about the bikes, more about the channel, drop those comments. If you want to know any of the companies that we use to make our bikes as fast as we possibly can, and maybe preferably not break the bank, but things like that. But check the links down below. Every company that we have used for the past couple seasons is down below. I've been slowly compiling that list of all the companies that we go through to get the parts that we do. That is down below. So be sure to check them out. And as always, hit the subscribe button, hit the little bell next to that for notifications, and I will see you guys on the next upload. As always, ride safe, ride smart, always wear your helmet. See you guys.